Hi, today we're going to continue with the if and the if-else, but we're also going to demonstrate the if and the if-else when we're comparing different data types. So the first thing I want you to do is, if you want to fill in the code along with me, navigate to Schoology. Under Unit 3, we have the comparing.java program that has some stuff filled in, but we're going to fill in the rest. If you want a hard copy of the final product, it's right here, comparingprogram.docx. That's a Word document that has the complete program. Then, of course, at the end of the program, we will be adding comparing completed.java to this folder so you could see the completed one. So once again, you can follow along and type with me. So that finger to brain interaction. Or you can just watch and learn. Okay, so let's get started. All right, in our program today, comparing class is a demonstration of comparing values of different data types. Different data types require different ways of comparing. We're going to utilize the scanner, user input. Okay, so we have an import statement of import java.util.scanner. So if we use a scanner, we need a scanner object. All right, so we made a scanner object, scan. Now these are all the variables that we're going to use. Now I want you to, so character 1 and character 2, we're going to compare characters. String 1 and string 1, string 2, we're going to compare strings, and we're going to compare decimals, decimal 1, decimal 2. Now look at line 20. Tolerance is in all capitals. Normally, we would make this a final, and then we'd have to immediately, not only do we declare it, but we'd have to instantiate it right then and there when we called it a final. But because we want the scanner to instantiate it, we can't make it a final. So even though the writing convention has it all capitals, it's really not a final. We can change it anytime we want. But we're going to have the scanner change it today. All right, so since we're using the scanner, we don't have anything in the constructor. All right, so let's get started. All right, first we want to do is we want to ask the user for what is our tolerance. Now, if you're taking chemistry or have taken chemistry, you may have talked about significant figures. And significant figures, or how many decimal places out a number is important, depends on what you're really talking about. All right? So here's an example. I'm working at Cold Stone, and of course, they measure out their ice cream, so make sure everybody gets the same amount. So if I were to measure out ice cream for you, and I gave Sarah 6.258 ounces of ice cream, 6.258, but I gave James 6.257 ounces of ice cream, would either one of those customers complain being 1/1000th of an ounce off? No, they wouldn't care. So the thousandths place probably isn't a good tolerance for ice cream. Maybe down to the 10th, just one decimal place. But let's change the example. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give you all money. Would you guys prefer to have $5.25 million, 5.25, or would you prefer $5.251 million? Right? We're still talking thousandths. 1/1000th. Is $1,000 to you matter? Does $1,000 matter? Yes, it does. So when you set your tolerance, you have to decide in context how important, how many decimal places. So let's set up a tolerance, all right? So first we have to ask the user for a tolerance. So system.out.print, enter a tolerance for the decimal. We're going to use this later. Okay. Remember, and we've got our tolerance. And we got scan dot next double, all right? And then we want to clear the keyboard. Scan dot next line. You should all pretty good at this by now, all right? So this is going to ask for some decimal. We'll decide what we want to do later. Now let's ask for some characters, all right? So system dot out, oops, can't type today. Print. All right, so enter a character. And I guess for in char1, we're going to get scan dot next, and then we're going to daisy chain on it to a char at index 0. All right. Of course, we clear the keyboard. Actually, the buffer, right? So there's our first character. So let's get a second one. So I'm going to copy this, save some time, paste. All right, so there's our second one. So we got 2 characters. Okay. Hey, I just had some contractors pull up, so I'm going to have to pause this video and I'll have to pick up with part 2. We'll talk to you later.